Hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Bryndís and in today's video I want to discuss with you a little bit about my kind of journey towards a more intentional life, a more slow living, mindful way of living my kind of life, at least outside of my academic or a professional life. So as I was wanting to do this video, I kind of sat down and was really thinking, like, what exactly am I doing that is helping me to become more intentional with my life? And I kind of came up with these 6 points. I'm sure there are more things that I'm doing, but these 6 are kind of things that I find have helped me so much and are things that I need to keep in place. And then I might obviously add in more things later on, or like as my journey kind of develops. But for the purpose of this video, we're just gonna go over these 6 things that I am doing to help me live an intentional life. Point number 1 is planning and kind of making these to-do lists and tasks and projects for me to work on in my personal life are also very helpful because first of all, they really find that if I plan my day like outside of my work, it helps me to see that I actually have time. It is very easy to kind of get caught up in this thinking that, oh, I don't have time, I'm so busy, I don't have time, I'm so busy. And I've been there and I'm still there a lot of the time, but I actually do have time in my day to either just do nothing or to do tasks that are going to help me rest and find kind of meaningful ways to live my life. It's kind of a mixture of habit tracker to make sure that I'm hitting some other things that I'm going to talk about here later, that I'm doing those things every day, because I know that those things are going to benefit me in the long run, even if some days I don't really necessarily feel like doing something. If I just make myself do it, I know that it's going to be better for me in the long run as I kind of get older and all those things. And it's also, but I also make sure to have in every week, I have a slot for like social life, because I'm an introvert and I am very content in my own company. And I don't think I've ever experienced like boredom. I've never, because I'm alone, like I've never been alone, stuck at home and felt bored. Like when with COVID and all the lockdowns and whatever, I was just like, oh, this is just my normal life. Because I really like to be alone and have just kind of do my own thing. But at the same time, I can feel that I could very easily slip into like hermit mode, which I don't think is very healthy for anyone. No matter how introverted you are, I think some social interaction is crucial for us as human beings. So I make sure that every week I have had some sort of a social interaction in person. So I just also make sure that I'm planning for like exercise and that I'm eating healthy. So I have make sure that I have time to go and shop, like buy groceries and cook and all those things. So planning my day often makes me see that I have like 2 hours on this Tuesday, or even 3 hours on this Tuesday, where I have nothing. I don't have to go. I'm not working. I'm not exercising. I'm not doing any like house tasks or cleaning. I can do whatever I want for those 3 hours. And that is, I think, so important to make sure that you plan, at least if you have a busy life where that is necessary, you plan for that downtime. Planning for how I can make my life more intentional. The second point that I try, I wouldn't even say that I try, I think that I do every single morning, is to have this slow morning routine. My morning routine is basically always the same. I wake up, I feed the cats, I get ready, and I have my morning coffee, and I sit on the couch and watch YouTube. I love it. And I've been doing this for probably four years. I think I started in 2019. And I just made an effort. So in order for me to be able to have like this about an hour in the morning, I would wake up very early. Before, when I had to start work at 8, I would wake up sometimes at like 6:30, just so that I could make sure that I had this time to just sit and just be like myself and think about myself and just be kind of in the moment. Whether it was also like watching YouTube or scrolling on my phone, but just being in the moment and not having to rush. I find that having to rush in the morning is just the most horrible thing I ever know. I do sometimes go to the gym in the morning. Sometimes I go to the gym at 7 a.m. and sometimes I go at 8:30. And if I'm going to the gym at 7 a.m., I will just go fasted for my workout and then have my slow morning routine after I get home. If I'm going to the gym at 8:30, I will make sure that I'm up at around 7 so that I can have my slow morning routine before the gym. So I just find that it is so like, it just makes sure that I can just breathe and kind of get everything just kind of calm in my system, even though I know that it's gonna be a crazy busy day. My third point that I have kind of, or third thing that I find helps me so much to kind of be able to take these moments and just live for the moment and just kind of be mindful and intentional, is my weekly reset. So every week, every Sunday, usually, sometimes it like is the entire weekend, I do all the weekly reset tasks. I do like plan my week ahead and see how it looks, and just so that things are not kind of coming up as a surprise. Of course, sometimes things come up like special, like occasions, like especially socially, but also at work, things will happen that you didn't plan for. But knowing kind of how my week looks like and what I need to be ready for each day. First of all, it just reduces my stress levels like 100 times, and I feel so much confident in that, okay, this is gonna be a good week, and I'm gonna be able to do what I need to do. And even if I can see that it's gonna be like a crazy busy week, I can at least know that, okay, I've prepared as best as I can, and so let's go and have a crazy week. So the fourth thing that I've kind of am working on incorporating into my daily life, I'm not quite there, but I do think that I remember it at least a couple of times a week. That is connected to mindfulness. So in like end of last year, I took a mindfulness course where we were just like training our minds, but also just like working on and like exercising our mindfulness muscle, which basically just means to be in the moment. So just doing these little things during the day, like for example, when you're brushing your teeth, just like try to stop your mind from wandering and just feel the toothbrush, feel the toothpaste. When you are maybe drinking water, just like stop for a moment and just feel the water like going down into your stomach. And these mindfulness moments, they can be just like 5 seconds, or they can be 2 minutes, whatever you need. So that's what I'm trying to incorporate that into my daily life. So point number 5 that I have here on my little sheet here is nature. Now, I'm very fortunate in that I live in a place where nature is just almost just a couple of steps outside my house. It's very, very easy for me to be in nature. And the climate here in Iceland is pretty compatible with wanting to spend time in nature. Of course, winters can be very harsh. You can have difficult days where you don't want to be outside at all, but for the most part, you can find a way. So I love being outside in nature, and that's also one of the things that I don't do enough of. But I do try to go for hikes or walks around a lake or in the mountains on a regular basis to kind of just experience the kind of this positive force of Mother Nature just kind of going into my veins when I'm out there. And that is definitely a thing that I find helps me to kind of focus on the here and now. Like even for me in winter time when I cannot be outside as much, that's fine, because I know that I can do it in the summer. So even if you can't do it every single day, try make like I think that taking all the opportunities you possibly have to be outside in nature, I think is an important step towards kind of mindfulness and having some like a little bit of a slower living. Because just sitting outside, like I watching the sea, or watching the wind in the flowers or the trees, or like whatever it is, it's just, I think for me at least, it's a part of just being a human being and just enjoying nature as well. And just remembering also that nature is so powerful, and that we are just like little ants when it comes to all the natural elements that can just crush us very easily. And that kind of also puts things into perspective a little bit, because even though I find sometimes that my problems are very big in the like scale of the world, they really are not. So it's a good reminder also to just kind of remember that you are actually a very privileged and lucky person for me to be where I am in my life. And then the 6th point, I wasn't sure if I wanted to include this, because I'm not sure that it necessarily, because I think that it can go both ways. So the 6th thing that I put down here is exercise. So for me to include that, I'm trying to think of exercise as a way for me to release energy, like release anxious energy, to release and kind of relieve my anxiety and my kind of this thing that I want to be doing things all the time. And by exercising on a regular basis, I find that it helps with that for sure, but it also helps me with dealing with depression. I have low-grade chronic depression and anxiety, and I'm like high functioning, but I do get depressive moments in my life throughout the year. So exercising is key for me in order to keep my mental health healthy. But exercising can also very easily go into the other direction, where it becomes almost toxic. And I am a very goal-oriented person, and so I always make goals for myself, and like just I feel that that's how I thrive in my life, really. So I'm really now training myself to, okay, I can make goals. I can have goals for running or other health things. Like I want to be able to lift certain amount of weight at my gym, or I want to be able to run a certain race at a certain time, whatever, But trying to make sure you can have goals that you can work towards and like have fun, because I have fun when I'm doing that, without it becoming like the main goal of why you are running, is definitely something that's tricky, and I'm not sure that I found the balance there. But I also find that exercising, moving my body and using my body, sweating and just kind of getting all that energy out, helps me to calm down internally. It helps my mind to calm down so that I can actually enjoy the more slow-paced aspects of my life. And so finding that balance is tricky, but I'm working on it for sure. So those were my 6 points that I'm working towards, or that I have like implemented in my life to help me live a more slow, intentional life. And I think that the first through that my planning, my slow morning routine, and my weekly resets are like fixed elements within my life that almost never not happen. But then I'm still working on all the moments of mindfulness, then being out in nature more often than I am, and exercising without it becoming basically toxic. So those are things. So I'm still working on some things. Some things are already kind of fixed elements in my life, but I do feel that talking about mindfulness or intentional life and doing the things that I've been doing have kind of helped me get away from kind of toxic productivity and feeling that I need to constantly be doing things, and really embracing the art of not doing anything. And there's a book I think called, I haven't read it, but I've read the title on some like reviews, The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I think it's called something like that. And I really like that idea that, you know what? You don't always have to care about everything. You don't always have to do everything 100%. Sometimes also mediocre is fine. You don't always have to do everything perfect. And that's also one of the things that I'm working very hard on for my PhD, is that I just want to finish it. It doesn't have to be the best PhD ever done in the history of PhDs. It just needs to be done. And for everything, that's basically life. You don't have to have the best life ever. Just have a life. I think that's gonna be my final words. Just have a life that is meaningful and kind of gives you joy and happiness. And that's definitely what I'm working on. Having a life that I find like gives me meaning and gives me kind of the feeling that I have a purpose, basically. And yeah, I guess that's it. Please feel free to comment down below what you thought about these 6 things that I was talking about, whether you have implemented any of those in your life, or if you are interested at all in slow living. I'm hoping to do these type of videos maybe every 6-7 months, something like that, kind of just to update you and myself on how this journey is progressing. And this was kind of my main also reasoning for why I started this YouTube channel, was to kind of document my journey towards a more intentional life, a slower life. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I would love it if you would like the video, subscribe to my channel, and let's talk in the comments section. Bye bye.